Hello and welcome to Murphy's Garden, and as promised last week I said I would show you how to get this look and how to make the metal have this nice appearance, this nice sort of dull metal look. So I'm going to just take you through the whole process, and this is an exciting video. This is a video all about pots and bottomless pots particularly. We've watched the Bunny Guinness video. She's a real fan of bottomless pots and I've learned lots from her, so I do recommend that you watch that video. And I'm just putting into place her advice and I'm going to show you how it's turned out. So we used the wooden pot that we already had and we've cut the bottom out of that just to get, because one of them died. So I'm going to just show you the footage from that. So we'll go back to, I think it was about March time when we moved that, just to show you what happened there. And I'm here by the entrance into the parterre from the path. This is quite a prominent part of the garden, visible from the house. And our garden is quite a symmetrical garden, but here you can see that the symmetry has gone because we've only got one tree. This tree is missing, and the story with this is that gradually it was getting more and more brown and it just didn't look very well at all. So in honesty, they've been in these pots quite a long time, maybe 5 years, and you are meant to kind of scrape out some of the soil and add new soil and do all that. Well, I never really kind of got round to it, and as a result I guess the soil and nutrients got a bit depleted, although I did feed them. I fed them every week, but anyway, whatever happened, one of them died, which is really annoying because this one's healthy and is looking lovely, but its partner isn't, so it makes the garden look really unbalanced and silly. So I've got to do something about that, and I have got a plan. So having watched lots of the Bunny Guinness videos, Bunny, some of you watch her I think, but she does a video on bottomless pots whereby you have a tree like this that looks as if it's in a pot, but you let the roots go down into the soil beneath and it can get moisture and nutrients without having to rely on being watered and fed. And we saw the same at Erddig when we went to visit Erddig. They had big Prunus lusitanica trees in Baseless pots. So we thought we'd try and do the same. I've got Mike, who's the blacksmith, who did the edging on the lawn, and he's going to make me some metal pots which I can then put on here. And then what we'll do, we'll clear back all the gravel, and there is hardcore under there, so we'll pull all that back and get down to the soil, and then we'll put them in and make that a permanent feature. So what we're going to do today is to try and move this pot. Because I've only got one, I can't have it either side of a path, but I have got an area down near the house which has got trellis which goes up to the house, so it would look nice just on one side of the trellis, I thought.
It's quite good, the bottom actually.
Is it? That's not bad actually. Okay, we got it here, and this is the bottom of the pot, so it's actually in quite good order. I thought it might be rotten, but it's not. So what we'll do is we won't take the whole bottom out, but we'll just perhaps cut a bit in the middle just to let the taproot go down. Just get rid of some of these stones. Right. That's the tree in situ, and all that remains is for me to just give it some water. So I'm now by the tree. The spiral tree is now in situ and it looks nice in this position. As you know, we have removed the trellis, that's now gone, but I think it can stay here in the longer term. And that's cleared the way for the new pots to go in. So the pots that Mike gave us have been put in situ and they look good, the sizing's good, they're quite impactful. they're galvanised, which means they've been hot dip galvanised, and that prevents steel from rusting. So that will mean that they'll last a long, long time. And although they will eventually fade to a duller colour, it's not really the look we want in this garden at the moment. We want to change the finish on it just to make it look more in keeping with our garden. I think if it was a modern garden, you might get away with it being shiny, but for what we want, I want to just change the look. So next we're going to come on and show how to do this. So I'm just at the front with the two pots. This one I've treated and I'm really, really pleased with the effect that we've got. So we've got this kind of, well, I think it's like a lead look. So it's lovely dull metal, kind of gunmetal look, as opposed to this, which is galvanized steel, and it's very shiny. I'm going to just show you how to get the same effect on this one too. So it's starting to rain, so I'm going to get this into the garage and I'll show you what to do. So the first thing to do before you begin is just to wipe the pot over. This pot has been galvanized, so just wipe the pot over with some white spirit, and that will just get rid of any grease. You don't want any greasy bits on it. It won't, you know, it just needs to be cleaned off. So I'm going to do that first of all. So just using some white spirit on some tissue, and just go round the whole lot and just give it a really good clean. You don't want any kind of greasy finger marks or anything like that on there, or bird poo, which I did have on one of the other one. Murphy, why don't you go and sit over there, darling? You sit there, the good boy. Now you don't really need to do the inside. I did do the inside of the other one. The reason being is because I just wanted to experiment. I was a bit nervous about doing it. So I experimented with different techniques on the inside before I did it on the outside, just to be on the safe side. Now the next thing to do, I've got my sunglasses on just to protect my eyes because I can't be bothered finding some safety glasses. But the next thing I'm going to do is use this product. This is called Tea Wash, Rust Buster Tea Wash, a pre-treatment for galvanized steel. And what you can do if you want to paint galvanized steel a colour, so for example, you know, you could have a nice kind of greeny colour or cream colour or white. We've got that white archway, so I guess they would have used that. So it's just to take off the shine. If I tried to put paint on top of galvanized steel, it'd be too shiny and it would repel the paint and not adhere. So if you do want to paint, then this is a pre-treatment to painting as well, but you can just leave it as the final effect if that's what if you want, if that's the look you're going for. So I've put the tea wash in a little spray bottle because I find that easier. You can just put it on with a clean rag or some kitchen roll, or you can put it on with the paintbrush. Depends on the look you want. So I would recommend just experimenting on the inside just to see how it works and what kind of look you want. If you put it on quite thick, it will go much darker. It will go kind of a black colour. If you put it on quite lightly and wipe it off quickly, then you'll get that sort of lighter finish. So very much depends on the look you're after, but yeah, definitely experiment. So I'm going to do it on the inside actually, just to get my eye in really. So I've got a load of kitchen roll on standby, and all I do is spray over the whole side and then get the kitchen roll and I just rub it over evenly. And you can experiment with the look. So if you want it kind of darker around the rivets, then you can put little extra bits on there and it will go blacker. So spray it on. If you leave it, then it will dry blacker. So I'm just spreading it round quite quickly to get an even effect. You can always add more if you want it darker, but once it's gone black, you can't get it back again. I'm going to do a little bit more. And you can just stipple it on with a paintbrush if you want it, particularly like around all the nuts and things, if you want to just add extra sort of detail and things. So just keep it moving all the time. Don't let it stay on there too long. So one more time, I'm just covering it with the tissue actually. And now all I'm going to do is just to hose it down. And I think that's done, so that looks quite even compared to the other one, I hope. So the next thing to do will be to get these in situ and planted out, and we're thinking about perhaps using, we've got some osmanthus trees that are actually, well, they were quite small when I bought them, but they're actually getting quite big, too big for the pot that they're in. So we might have a look at what they look like in here and perhaps do something a bit different. So we're just working on getting the pots straight. It's very difficult to get them to line up, but they must look right by the eye. So Al's just using a spirit level, just making sure everything is straight. So here are the two pots and they're now ready to plant. Al's done an amazing job with cemented all round them. He's put cement in and then pushed the gravel on top so the gravel binds to it, and he's just put the edging stones back, and in the middle we've got the hole that goes down and it's just cemented in place so they don't move. So, and the same with that one, looks really, really good. And there's the hole in the middle for the roots to go down. So I'm just going to go and get some barrow loads of compost, just giving them a wash down just to get rid of any cement. So now the pots are in situ, and I was quite keen to push on this weekend and get them planted because I really wanted you to see them planted out. And we've chosen to put the osmanthus in. This is Osmanthus burkwoodii. These were very small plants. They just look like little green balls. They were quite small. I got them about 2 years ago. Last year I did a video, about this time last year actually, I put them in some small pots and stripped out the lower branches, so on all the leaves. So that's quite easy to do. It makes them look so much nicer when you do that. They look quite inconspicuous little shrubs. But as soon as you strip out the lower branches, they get this lovely multi-stem look. I think they're also called sweet olive, but I will just post the the information that I give in the evergreen tree video that I did. It's not really a tree, it's more classed as a large shrub, but it's ideal for this location because it won't get too big. Osmanthus burkwoodii develops as a large shrub, but its attributes are so appealing that it makes a really good small bushy tree. It remains small, growing to just 3 to 5 meters in height, and has a good rounded habit and can be left to grow naturally, or it can be pruned into various shapes. The species is native to Asia and has attractive dark evergreen leaves, but its main attributes are the highly scented tubular white flowers which appear in early summer, and their perfume seems to fill the whole garden. The white of the flowers contrasts extremely well with the dark foliage and are followed by blue-black fruits. Osmanthus also makes a really great loose hedge and is suited to topiary too. If you want that beautiful multi-stem look, then just strip out the leaves from the lower branches. This tree will grow to 2.5 to 4 metres or 8 to 13 feet in height and spread in 10 to 20 years. It makes a very nice multi-stem tree or hedge. Grow this tree close to paths to enjoy the stunning jasmine-like smell. It also looks really good growing in a pot. Grows in any pH, acid, alkaline or neutral. Grow in full sun or part shade. Grow in chalk, loam, clay or sand, and prefers free draining but fertile soil. It's best planted in a relatively sheltered spot. Although it is hardy for the UK, cold east winds may give it a bit of a battering. Known for its slow growth, about 15 centimetres a year, means it's a low maintenance tree. Pruning group 8, trim after flowering to promote flowering the following year. Hardiness H3, USDA hardiness 7 through 10. And what we've also done is just pruned them a little bit as well, just to stop any growth coming this way, because we don't want to obscure the path. So the nice thing about Osmanthus is it has this very lovely white flower in the spring. It's just finished flowering actually, and the flowers smell beautiful, so it makes a good tree near a pathway for that reason. So I'm absolutely delighted with them. I hope you like them. What I've done underneath, I've planted them with some erigeron. This is some erigeron that made it through the winter. It's quite hardy, so it will survive a winter. So this planting has to be, I want it to be permanent. I don't want to have to keep changing it every time. The roots can go down. We've got the pot with the bottomless pot, and what we've done, Alistair's just put cement round the edge just to stop them moving in case somebody knocks them with the barrow or something. So they're not going to go anywhere, they're fixed in, and then we've pushed the gravel on top, so the gravel will also lock in around it as well. He has done a fab job because he's put the edging stones back in again. And then we've just filled them. It didn't take as much as I thought to fill them. We've filled them with the homemade compost. We've got loads of topsoil, so we've used that as well. And then we've topped it with a couple of bags of bought compost. And then what I've done, I've grown some erigeron from seed. They're a bit smaller than I wanted them to be. I'd rather they were a little bit bigger, but nevertheless, I've put them in because it's that lovely fine compost. They were ready to pot on anyway. So I've put them in here, and hopefully they'll grow on, and then they'll start to trail down, and again that will soften the look. So I'm absolutely delighted with these, really pleased. And standing back from the house, they look great. And what I love about the colour of these pots, at this time of year when the box is vivid green, it's bright green, and then I've got all the alliums out at the moment, the purple alliums, and the purple looks just lovely with this very muted grey. So I hope you'll agree that they're really good addition to the garden, and I think they make this area just look really special. Thank you very much for watching. It's starting to rain. I seem to end all my videos with it's starting to rain, but it is again. So I'm going to go in. We've just got a barbecue on at the moment, so we're going to go and rescue that before that gets wet. And we've worked really hard this weekend. We're busy doing the roses as well, so that's the video probably for next week. Hopefully we're very busy doing that. I'm both quite exhausted. So thank you very much for watching, and join us again in the next video. Bye for now.